I have been in the position of having to withdraw a number of people from benzodiazepines that I didn't put on them, obviously. And it's difficult. It's really difficult.
Prescription benzodiazepines, I think, are much more dangerous and much harder to come off of for the patient than the street drugs are.
Mais ceux qui réussissent à arrêter vous diront que les benzodiazépines ne représentent pas la seule classe de psychotropes qu'il est extrêmement difficile d'arrêter.
I had about 10-year time frame in my life where I abused both street drugs and prescription drugs. And the drugs that were the hardest to come off of, in my opinion, were the psychiatric medications. And I mean worse to come off of than a drug like heroin.
Withdrawal symptoms from the psychiatric drugs just made my mind go crazy. I couldn't think. I couldn't form coherent thoughts whatsoever.
I was racing. I had highs and lows, ups and downs, hot and cold sweats.
I went through seizures. I was sweating with night sweats so bad I was wetting my bed just with sweat.
I had tremors really bad. I mean, I joked that I looked like I had the end stages of Parkinson's disease, but you couldn't even hold me still when I was going through withdrawals. My legs would shake. I couldn't sleep.
No one in the world should have to go through what I went through, in my opinion, and I wouldn't wish it on my worst enemy.
Même les nouveau-nés, dont la mère prenait des psychotropes alors qu'elle était enceinte, peuvent être en manque. Ces nouveau-nés sont irrités, hyperactifs, suivent un rythme de sommeil anormal, vomissent, ont la diarrhée et ne grossissent pas. Mais c'est l'aggravation de certains effets secondaires entraînés par le sevrage d'un psychotrope qui peut avoir un effet désastreux chez l'individu.
Now the person stops taking the drug, and the effects of the withdrawal or the effects of stop taking the drug are increased and amplified symptoms like the depression or suicide ideas, or etc.
They have tremendous mood swings. They invariably get violent. They cannot control their emotions.
You're very depressed, you're suicidal, you're hallucinating, you're psychotic, you're crazy, you're manic when you stop taking your medication.
C'est pourquoi le sevrage d'antidépresseurs SSRI en particulier, s'il est mal fait, déclenche des sautes d'humeur et une colère incontrôlable, ce qui a constitué un facteur primordial dans les récentes folies meurtrières. En mai 1998, par exemple, Kit Kinkel, alors âgé de 15 ans, venait d'arrêter de prendre du Prozac quand il tira sur ses parents et les tua. Il se rendit à son lycée en Oregon où il tua 2 personnes de plus et en blessa 25. En novembre 2007, Pekka Erik Ovinen a tué 8 personnes à son école du nord d'Helsinki en Finlande. Peu de temps auparavant, il avait réduit la quantité d'antidépresseurs qu'il s'était fait prescrire pour un trouble de l'anxiété ou avait arrêté d'en prendre. Jour de la Saint-Valentin 2008, Université du Nord d'Illinois, Steven Kazmierczak est rentré dans un hall d'école bondé et a ouvert le feu, tuant 5 personnes et en blessant 18. Quelques semaines plus tôt, il avait lui aussi arrêté de prendre son antidépresseur. Mais au lieu de reconnaître que de telles tragédies découlaient du sevrage d'un psychotrope hautement addictif, la réponse habituelle des psychiatres consiste à jeter le blâme sur le fait que le patient ait arrêté de prendre son psychotrope et qu'il faisait une rechute de maladie mentale.
When a psychiatrist says that, well, the reason why they're feeling that way when they get off the drug is because, see, that shows you how bad they really need the drug. Here's the deal. There's no way that that's true.
The reality is, when they stop the drug, they get depressed or they have withdrawal effects of various types. And the reason they're having those effects is because it's a withdrawal effect from the drug.
All you need to do is you need to sit down and listen to anyone who's been on these medications and wants to come off them. And you listen to their story, and you listen to what they're going through, why they want to come off of them. And that's it. The conversation stops. The debate ends.
My name is Robin, and currently I am withdrawing from lorazepam, and I am at the 0.4 milligram dose. There we go. Today, I was totally exhausted. I've had 4 nights, 2 nights of insomnia, and then a good night's sleep, then 2 nights of insomnia. I'm just hoping that I can sleep better tonight. Didn't sleep good last night. Well, as you can see, today I don't care. I did not get ready, and my wave went down. I'm down in the valley today. One of the side effects or withdrawal symptoms for lorazepam can be night sweats or hot flashes, a little lightheaded and kind of dizzy, anxiety, sore throat, weepy, very, very tired, grouchy, just overwhelmed, distraught, distressed. I began to experience suicidal thoughts. I think I've said a little bit to my husband, but he was already worried enough. This is really the first time I'm saying something about it. I feel like I could have a nervous breakdown. You know, there are just times like I hit a brick wall and I can't do it anymore. It's going to take another, maybe 18, 19, 20 weeks to get off of it. And that is very overwhelming to me. I'm weary today. And this is how I used to be for many weeks with lorazepam. And that's the hardest thing, is you are trapped into living it out the way you have to live it out in order to be safe. So that's frustrating. I just want my life back. And that's where I am today.
Il fallut à Robin des mois pour se sevrer d'une seule des drogues psychiatriques qu'elle prenait. Et les spécialistes en toxicodépendance s'accordent à dire que la seule façon de faire un sevrage en toute sécurité, c'est de le faire lentement.
You just can't cut people off from these drugs. Sometimes it can take up to a year or more, depending on the person and how long they've been on the drug and how we wean them off.
You can't stop these drugs cold turkey. No. I would never advise anybody to just stop them. They need to be under the care of a medical practitioner.
When some of my patients come in and they talk to me about getting off of psychiatric medications, I really caution them not to just stop their drugs cold turkey, because that can really send them into a tailspin.
The data is right there. It's going to cause the symptoms that it causes. It's going to have withdrawal effects. And they know it. There's not a psychiatrist that doesn't know it.
Et pourtant, les psychiatres nous disent que les drogues psychiatriques sont le seul moyen d'empêcher les gens de devenir fous et de plonger dans une détresse mentale. Mais est-ce vraiment le cas? Ou bien existe-t-il d'autres possibilités, efficaces, peu coûteuses et non médicamenteuses, qui pourraient tenir toutes ces promesses en l'air faites par la psychiatrie?